Hi there. So here we are, week 5 of the lockdown. Four for some of you, but four or five. And there's no real end in sight. Seems to be a split of opinion on hospitality, whether it should open first or last. There's no understanding when anything is really going to come back to normal. It's interesting to see some countries like Denmark doing schools, getting schools back to normal, primary schools. And I guess the logic there is that without underlying health conditions, kids are very unlikely to get affected by COVID-19. So, and for society as a whole, I think it's probably a good thing to get the young kids back to school as quickly as possible. Anyway, we are where we are. I know that the bank loans aren't coming through. I can count on the fingers of one hand, or less than the fingers of one hand, how many of our clients have actually had their loans through yet, or their loan applications processed successfully. The banks are a law unto themselves. They seem to be hanging on until the government does 100% guarantees. Whether that will happen or not, I don't know. But until that happens, I just don't really see much happening with the banks, I'm afraid. Not great. It's the old umbrella in the sunshine scenario. So we have to crack on and do what we can do. In terms of procurement, we work with our clients in a number of ways. At the end of the day, we're supportive and we're collaborative, and we're part of your team, part of all our clients' teams. So sometimes that results in us doing a project and delivering our findings to the client to make their decisions. Other times, it can mean that the client's doing the work and they just call us and ask us for some help and advice, which is fine. We're happy to do that. So, in terms of the things, if you're going to do the latter, doing it yourselves, you might be taking this opportunity to think about, well, what are the things we could change going forward? I know a lot of people are benefiting from the time out and a bit of exercise every day just to think about, well, what could we do better? What could we, when we do start up again, what are the things actually that were really pissing me off before that I want to get sorted? So in terms of procurement, if that was one of them, let me give you some pointers. So number one would be to understand your contract status. Where are you on the contracts at the moment? Which ones can you renegotiate now? Where can you use the benefit of this timeout and the uncertainty that it's created to actually go back to suppliers and say, look, we're happy with what you're doing, but we want a new deal with a better price to take us forward, and we'll commit to you for longer. So that might be something which you can do. But certainly understand all of your contracts. It's a good opportunity. Most of the suppliers, I should say, customer service departments are working, and they'll give you that information. Secondly, understand what it is you're contracted for, and is it relevant to what your business does? A lot of things are just there because they've been there. Oh, well, we do that because we did it. We do that because we did it. Not really helpful in terms of moving forward. You've got this opportunity to totally reset where you are, and maybe think of using that. So look at some of those bills that come through and start saying, okay, well, is that right? Do I want that? Do I still need that? Or could we change it in some shape or form? Then it's down to the detail of the unit prices and the individual items that you're buying and understanding those. And once you've got those 3 bits of information together, you've got the basis to actually be able to do a tender and to go out to market, talk to the key players in each market. They might not be right for you, but talk to them to understand what they're doing and what services they're offering, and then see which ones you want, and then talk with the suppliers you narrow it down to. In terms of what services you want. And don't forget, when you're doing the tender, payment terms are really important. Service levels are really important. It's not just about price. Everyone thinks that it's all about price. And actually, if you do the exercise right, price happens. What you'll find is, if you go, I always use the example, if we go to 5 suppliers, we'll have one who quotes really high. Well, they're not interested in the business. We'll have one who quotes really low. Probably wouldn't want to use them because they might not be there for very long. And then you get 3 in the middle. And that's where the market is. And that's the price you want to be, the price range you want to be working in. And those 3 will be really close to each other. So that's where you want to be working. But don't forget the value adds. How will they manage your account? Who will they interact with in your business? Will they actually go and visit sites? What are the payment terms? What's the service levels? are they using their own drivers? Are they using couriers? If they're using their own drivers, is it the same guys all the time so that your teams can build a relationship with them? It's all these little things which actually make a difference. So don't miss any of it out. So do that, and then you'll end up with a good result. And when you're checking the prices from the suppliers, if it is individual products that you're buying, then what you need to do is, unfortunately, you have to go through item by item to check that they've quoted like for like comparisons, because otherwise they'll make glorious claims to you and they'll understand that you've got a list of 500 items you're buying, and you're never going to check them all. And that is something you need to do, because if you don't, you'll get screwed. They won't deliver the right product. They'll say, oh, well, that was on the tender, we put that in, and it's not the same product. You have to check it. And that actually, in terms of what we do, that's probably the longest part of our job. Number one, it's establishing the specifications for the products up front, and then number two, looking at those specifications and matching them off with what's been quoted. So I'm going to leave you with that. And one comment for you: electricity prices are at an all-time low at the moment. The price of crude oil, as you've seen, is going through the floor. I saw a report a couple of days ago, $20 a barrel. Wow. Do you remember when it was 120 and everyone said it was going up and up and up? Well, times have changed, and the new production cuts aren't even coming in till the beginning of May. So I think there's going to be a lot of full tankers floating around the world looking for ports to drop off their oil. Anyway, what that means is electricity prices are low. I think they're at about a 3-year low based on the research we've got in terms of the wholesale market. It doesn't always drop through to retail, but I think I'd say it is at the moment. So if you've got any contracts coming up any time in the next year that you'd like us to look at, please let me know, and I'll be really happy to get renewal prices for you and to get moving on those. So I'll leave you with that. Have a good week. I hope you're making the most of this weather, given the time off that we all have. I don't know about you, but I'm working as hard as I ever was. I'm just enjoying not commuting. Anyway, as I said, have a good week. Thank you very much. Appreciate you looking. Bye now.